Honestly, that 9 weeks in France, to get to where we got, never being spoke about, just qualified, don't know if we're going to get out of the group, and in the semi-final. It's the only game we lost was the game I played. Semi-final. And I say to this day, right, I only played because Ben Davis got suspended and Aaron Ramsey was suspended. So I came in for Ben and Andy King came in for Rambo. I don't want to say Kingy, but I think if those two boys played, I reckon we win the game. Do you know, there was such a role going on, and not that I don't think I did anything wrong in the game. You know, I played all right, obviously marking Ronaldo, but I think because he scored ahead of that game. I don't know if you've seen the header in the first one. I've never seen anything like it. I remember I went front stick with Jose Font, who was at West Ham at the time, so I'm marking Jose. James Chester's marking Ronaldo. And it's gone over my head. I want to say 3-4 foot. So I'm thinking this corner's going out the other side for throwing. I've looked round and he's up like he's like, honestly.
Did you look round and he was there?
Yeah, he was there. Look, like that. His knees were like by my head. And he seemed like he was up there for about half hour.
Have you seen it slow-mo?
No, it's not. It's outrageous.
It's unbelievable. It's just, I think it's just like
his head's over the crossbar.
But he jumps earlier. But he's still there later. So I don't understand how that. I don't understand how it.
Airtime. But talk us through. Like, obviously, I think it was the Belgian game. Was it Harold Robson-Kanu when he does the turn?
Greatest goal ever seen.
Well, I mean, that's got to be one of the greatest in Wales
I think it's
history.
the greatest goal ever seen because none of us knew Hal could do it. I don't think he even knew himself what he was doing. So it makes it even better. But now what a
what a time to do it as well. Like, so what took us through like kind of that moment, and then go like maybe you. I assume you have a few beers after that game.
For sure. Yeah.
That buzz.
Just obviously going into that game, Belgium at the time. What was it? Was that quarters or semis? Semis. No, we lost
quarters.
Quarters. So just like it's another game. You know what I mean? With quarterfinal Belgium, what a team, and just sums up our team. Just no fear going into it. Why not? I think they went 1-0 up early as well, didn't they? And then just don't know, just the magic of that tournament. Bit of sort of momentum. Obviously, the way it was going, Hal doing his thing, and just mad. And then we had people like Joe Ledley as well, like talking about after the game.
Another really good player,
massive guy. Premier League, 300 games in the Premier League. Just
used to do a little dance after,
but that stuff like that as well, which made it the dance after the games, and seeing the fans on the beers, and you'd have your family up there. And then you'd be in the dressing room and there would be one, everyone's buzzing, you'd come walking in with a crate of lager, and it was just everyone. It wasn't just the boys and Kitman was involved. Do you know what I mean? It was just unreal. And do you know what? I know boys who went for the first game, didn't go on.
Stayed.
Half old skint now, not got a job, but they stayed out there for like the 9 weeks.
Think of the stories though.
Everyone was in it together, and it was just, honestly, you ask any boy who's in that squad, best time of your life.
Brilliant. But you say it was a lot of fun. What about before a game? I mean, how sort of intense was it, or serious, or was there the sort of mother of all team talks before? When did it turn into that sort of game?
I've mentioned a lot how we enjoyed ourselves, which I think rightly so you should do if you get results and do what we've done. But before the lead up, our coaches, Osham Roberts, probably done your coaches today. Brilliant. As in the detail of, we didn't really have a way of playing. I don't know if the boys, I was on the bench a lot and sort of seeing it and getting a bit older. We didn't have obviously we had Gaz, get the ball to Gareth Bale, let him do his thing. Aaron Ramsey, great players. But the work that went into just every game, right, we're playing so-and-so today, this is how we're going to beat them. We're playing Belgium today, this is how we're playing Russia, this is how we'll beat them. It wasn't a fix, we're playing into midfield back. It was how are we beating this team on the day. And that would be the lead up in the week to that.
And it was thorough.
And probably the first time I really saw the unit meetings and individual meetings and stuff like that, but worked a treat. It was
without getting too technical, was like you playing like a box midfield? Like was you? Because that was the first time I think as Wales maybe you saw the box.
Yeah, probably. Look, I could say it now. In my head, it was you boys defend. Get the ball back, give it to Gareth, give it to better players. That's the way I played all my football, City's a better player than me, I'll defend, I'll give it to City, he's better than me. So I'll
give it to someone else.
And then you give it to someone better than you. But that was, I'm not saying that was the plan or the tactic, but we knew we had a world beater.
But how good was Gareth? So
why wouldn't you get the ball to him as often as you could?
How good was he? I mean, listen, I was at Tottenham when he went from a real shy left back to one of the greatest attacking players we've ever seen.
Assist at Milan.
Probably set him on the road. Really, he might not become Gareth Bale without that. But how good was he? And did you see things in training that?
We obviously knew a Gaz. He came into the squad when he was 16. John Toshak brought him in, and he was a left back at Southampton. And he's just different. You could see it even then. He was just different. The way he used to strike the ball and just different. The way he handled himself at a young age, the way he lived his life was probably slightly different to mine. But you could just see it. You could just see it a mile off. And then over time, we all saw him turn into, like you say, the most expensive player in the world.
Was it Bubbles, the man that used to...
Bubs, yeah. How do you know about Bubs?
I've just heard you talking about him.
Have you? So Bubsy was basically... I met him through Kev Nolan and Andy Carroll. He used to just drive us everywhere. Just a normal cabbie. Worked for our mate Lee, who had a firm in East London. But he'd pick you up anywhere, anytime. He used to drive us all about. And you on about a Dubai story here? I knew this was coming. So I used to use him that much. And it was just, you'd get pissed or you'd be out and you'd phone Bubs. He'd come and pick you up wherever you are. That'd be half hour. He'd come pick you up, knew where you lived, didn't have to tell him where you was going. So we went on one of Sam's famous Dubai trips and I got rotten and I'm just wandering about, can't get home. And I phoned Bubs to come and pick me up.
I'll be there 23 hours.
He went, Ginger, stupid, in fucking Dubai. I was like, oh, fuck, so it just automatic. We used it that much. Couldn't get home, couldn't get a cab. Bubs, can you come and get me? You're in fucking Dubai, you silly. Oh, don't. Honestly, he's picked me up. He's take me to the races, take me to Cheltenham, wait around, pick us up, take us everywhere. And that was through Kev and Andy. He used to take them everywhere and then sort of jumped on that.
I forgot they were there your second time, weren't they?
Kev and Andy, yeah. I had some great times with them too. Great. They were best mates at the time, weren't they? And just good lads. That's the second time I was at West Ham. Another great dressing room. Kev and Andy, brilliant.
I dropped on Kevin in a hotel in Cyprus, I think. And him and about 40 of his family.
Oh, he loves it.
Loud.
Yeah, everywhere with his family. We used to drink. I used to go and meet him and his dad and his mum and his brother and his family used to come down for the West Ham home games. And we'd go to a pub around the back of Epping where he used to live and there'd be 50 Scousers in there. It'd be fucking carnage. But great fun. Loved it. Andy, have you heard me and Andy Carroll story?
Nah.
It's a belter, this. We were away on, mentioned Kev and Andy being best mates. We were away in Germany on pre-season tour with Sam. So we worked out, you know what pre-season like, you work hard the first week, last night, he might give you a night out. So he gave us a night out in this fucking shithole of a village in Germany somewhere, but we found this bar that was looked half decent. So anyway, cut a long story short, we're in this bar, pissed, got a bit lively, and Kev and Andy started having a fight. Not a fight, an argument about something. So I've sort of got in the middle of, not in the middle of it, they were never going to fight because they were really close, but they were really arguing. I've got in the middle of it and gone, fucking leave it out, boys. Jesus Christ, everyone's pissed. But Andy's gone. You can see his eyes are gone, like he wants to fucking chin someone. So me being silly bollocks has gone, fuck it, I'll have a go. I'm not sure if Andy will tell the same story because I was pissed, but Nobes was definitely there. So I've swung for Andy. Missed him by about a foot, pissed, swung for him. He has gone clock and hit me on the cheek here. I've been hit a couple of times, never been hit so hard in all my life. Didn't knock me out, but I took a knee. I took an 8 count. I took an 8 count. Nobes is in the middle of us going, what the f*** is going on? It's pandemonium in this gaff now. Andy, I'm on my knees going, fucking hell, what's going on? And that was a pre-season tour. So I've ended up, nothing. We ended up, me being me, him being him, stood up, had a pint, shook hands, nonsense, got on with it.
Good shot.
Yeah, fuck. Don't get hit by Andy Carroll. He is one fucking strong geezer, let me tell you. And next morning, anyway, my cheek's out here. Andy's like, don't know what's happened to Andy, but we've gone down. Sam's heard something's gone on. So we're like, fucking hell, Big Sam's got us. Down in all of us, the whole squad sat down. He's gone, what the fuck went on last night? Blah, blah. Whoever was involved, stay in this gym. Whoever wasn't involved, leave. So I've stayed there, Nobes has stayed there, Kev stayed there. Andy wasn't in there for whatever reason. He might have been with the physios or whatever. Few of us stayed, 5 of us stayed anyway, and he's fuming. In front of all us, you're disgraced, fuming, in front of all the lads. This is what happens when I let you go out. So me, Kev, Nobes, maybe one other stayed. Matty Taylor maybe stayed. And we think, oh, we're in for it here. We're getting fined and all that. All the squad leave. The door closes behind him. Big Sam goes, you buggers. What you will have been up to? Absolutely loved it. He's gone, what the fuck have you done? My cheeks out here. I went, oh, big Andy. He's like, oh, fuck you.
Don't get about Andy.
He was loving it. But then, obviously, had to do something, and I think we got fined in the end or something. But no, funny time.
But you could obviously see that there was no ill feeling.
Because guys, ended up having a couple more pints with Andy and having a laugh. It was just one of them things. Serves me right for swinging at him, I suppose.
To be honest, I think you brought it on yourself.
I know, exactly. I don't make him wrong. It'd be interesting to see Andy's story on that, because I've never heard it from him, to be fair.
Because again, when you went to West Ham, it was a good school there.
Best dressing room I've ever been in.
West Ham?
Oh, that 2005.
Yeah, because that had been the FA Cup time.
Yeah, we played you. I was at Liverpool when obviously we played in the final.
So that dressing room.
Oh, yeah, of course. That dressing room, that sounds, we've all been in good dressing rooms. I've always... Every season I was at West Ham, we always had a good dressing room, always had good characters. But that one, 2005, when I first got there, unreal. Obviously, again, going back to what I said about Wales, the football was going really well. Finished 9th in the league that year, got to the cup final where you boys done us. But the social, worked hard, really training hard every day and all that. On and off the pitch was perfect. And Pards was brilliant as well. He sort of let it go, and we sort of run the dressing room. Enjoyed our one on a Saturday, worked really hard, enjoy yourselves on a Saturday. That's what it was.
You seemed like you was all similar ages, so you was always out. Like none of you seemed like they had kids. Yeah. So,
well,
no one had to be sensible.
I was 20 when I went to West Ham. Yeah. Maybe 21. Nigel Reo-Coker was our captain back then. I think he was the youngest captain, like 19. Yeah. Bobby was there, obviously. Nobes was coming through. Gabs was similar sort of age. But then we had Teddy. So we did have a really young team, but we had Teddy, Marky Mackay was still about. Great mix of the young lads wanting to prove themselves in the Prem, do well, and Teddy and
how is that for a young lad, though, to come into kind of, sometimes you can get lost in the bright lights of London, right? And that's when you're with characters. You know, how hard was it to balance that?
I don't think I did. Certainly in the first year, to be honest. Gabs come in. Gabs was probably a bit different to me, as in like Gabs come in and he just took off. He won Hammer of the Year first year, Gabs, and I sort of the lights hit me a little bit. Right. Teddy was about the boys, and I probably, looking back, overstepped the line a little bit in my first year there. Didn't play enough, got injured a little bit, but it was mad. It would have been a lot different if Gabs won there. Imagine moving to London from Newport, where I'm from, on my own, in the hotel, Waltham Abbey Marriott on my own. Yeah, would have been a bit of a disaster, I think. But Gabs there sort of made it a bit easier. And like I said, Gabs went on the pitch and did really well, and I probably enjoyed myself a little bit too much, to be honest.
So you were living in a hotel?
Yeah. I think every player, I think I was in there 6 months. Really? 6 months in the Waltham Abbey Marriott on the M25.
You mentioned Gabs there, just quick, so I just want to say, you mentioned Gabs there, and obviously he done really well with Wales and West Ham that he took off, but would you say quietly you had a big part to play in that as well? Because obviously if he's playing a lot or with you, then he knows he's got the comfort. If you're not there, I mean, it just would it have been different if, I feel like you're a bit of his security blanket a little bit. I
think me and Gabs were perfect together. Certainly at Cardiff, I used to love heading it, kicking it, getting an elbow, making a block, making a tackle. Gabs didn't enjoy that so much. I was quite slow, very slow. I did what Gabs didn't like, and Gabs could do what I couldn't do. So I think together we worked really well. Gabs was quick, he's good on the ball, run out with it, read the game really well, and I just loved defending. So I think together it just worked an absolute treat. It's just a shame when we got to West Ham, didn't play together that well. Anton Ferdinand was doing really well, and sort of I was getting injured, and they played quite a lot. But yeah, as a partnership.
I'm just trying to think where else that happens, where you sign two players rather than one.
Never. I say it all the time. I don't think it's ever happened. Yeah. It would have done. Two players coming, but as in two best mates, same agent, known each other since they were kids, move at the same time.
Yeah.
And same position.
Same position.
If it's different, like a striker and a right back, they've gone two centre backs. It's like
that. Yeah, not the same position.
It was like 3.6 mil. I think it might have been less than that back then.
Wow.
I played at West Ham then for 11 years. Gabs was there 6, Hammer of the Year. Hell of a deal.
Yeah,
I was about 200 grand. Gabs was 3.4. Jumped straight on the back of it.
But you had two spells at West Ham, right? So the first spell was a little bit short, and you go to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Well, how does that come about?
Again, another mad time really at West Ham. It was when Eggert Magnusson had the club, and the banks and all that were in trouble.
Icelandic guy.
Yeah. And it was mad. I started the season, did really well at West Ham, and then obviously that happened, and I went to you boys. I went up to a bid. I didn't want to leave. I was loving it. I loved it. I still do. Loved it. Didn't really want to leave. And basically, Gianfranco Zola, or I don't know, I can't remember if it was Zola or someone higher, came in and said we need the £5 million. It got to that. I think it got to that point at West Ham at that time that it was really dark days.
Did you not really want to leave, or did you want to leave? Yeah, because I know you're from Wales, but I class you as a West Ham.
Well, I've actually been in London longer than I was in Wales now. I've been here that long, so I didn't want to leave. My wife was from Loughton, around that way, and loved it. Loved everything about West Ham. The feel I got at the club, like the real working class sort of feeling. I just couldn't see myself anywhere else. And basically, Stoke came in. Offered the money, I think it was $5 million, accepted, go up and speak to Stoke. Do you think, you look back at Villa and you think, you like the training that you wouldn't believe, would you? People wouldn't believe it.
It's a myth. It is like the biggest myth in football. Under Martin O'Neill.
Yeah.
So Martin was a bit of a throwback. He was a clone of Brian Clough, right? And he'd openly say it, wouldn't he? He'd go, boys, he'd sit us down and go, boys, you will never have a manager like me. Again, he said, if you give me everything, I'll give you the world. Yeah. So, for instance, our training, and you can speak for this, we would go in, we'd warm up for 15 minutes, we'd have a couple of boxes, and then we'll do 5 sides. Like, that was it.
Every day.
Literally, and I'm saying every day. We never done possession.
No. Not even on a Friday?
Mate,
like you would walk through the
Young v old Friday, that was it.
Never. We never done team shape, we never done set pieces, we never done possessions, we never done like patterns of play where you get the ball out wide, crossing and shooting. Never. It was warm up, 5 sides.
This is why I know we might have different stories, but I'd love Martin. He was perfect for me, as in not like City said, not a great deal of training, but if you'd done well for him, he'd look after you and he'd make you feel brilliant. Me and Dunny signed on the Thursday, which probably would have been deadline day. Our first game's the Birmingham Derby on the Sunday.
That's messy, that one. It's a lively one.
That's big. Like, didn't know. So we sort of training, we didn't do a lot leading up to it. The Saturday night, we were in that Marriott up in Birmingham on the roundabout there. And Martin, it wasn't even a meeting, was it? We'd watch a game. Martin wouldn't really say anything. After the meeting, this is our first sort of real interaction with Martin. After the meeting, set plays, like we're thinking, what we're doing set plays. So Big Dunny's gone, boss, Martin, Gaffer, what we doing set plays? We man marking or we zoner? Martin O'Neill went, I signed you two big to head the ball. So what we'll do is you two stand in the middle and head it. And I'm thinking, it couldn't be any more perfect for me. I think we conceded
this is the place for me.
This is me. I think we conceded like 3 goals from corners.
Really?
Just me and Dunny used to stand on the edge of the 6-yard box. So simple. Get the flight of the ball and head it away. Just head it.
So it's not rocket science.
To be fair, I don't think I've ever heard it broken down.
It's not rocket science. Yeah. Well, especially when you've got him and
you
they don't lose many headers.
Yeah, you've got to have boys who want to head it. Yeah. Like you look at the way Arsenal, the one that everyone's talking about, they start at the back post. I'm not guaranteeing it, but you put me and Dunny on that 6-yard line and let them run at you, and we've got the desire to go and head that ball and take an elbow or whatever if they're coming that way.
Well, you're not conceding many there, are you?
No.